Hey y'all, I believe we're on the internet. All right, I'm not exactly ready. Um, kind of just jumped on. Don't know what I'm doing, but you know what? We'll find our way. I'm pretty sure of it. Pretty sure of it. I'm gonna see if I can't find a straggler up in here. So we're gonna figure out what it is that we want to do tonight. Now we don't have that much time necessarily. Um, and like I said, we're just kind of feeling our way through right now. I'm taking a minute to figure out exactly how I want to format things, trying to get my own personal uh, flavor, trying to get that down, trying to see exactly how we want to do this, how we want to carry on into the future. This here broadcast, um, it's a work in progress. All right. As far as doing new things, creating new things, it's an interesting concept. There's nothing new under the sun, but our minds and our souls, perhaps, are still becoming acquainted with that idea. There's voices in our head, in our heads. This voice might say a lot of different things, to include that we don't know what the heck we're doing. So why even try? And I found myself in a haze. It's very familiar. I'm still in that haze. I don't know if I ever truly get out of it. The world. Before we go on with our broadcast, I would like to mention something I was pondering earlier. Is that me personally? And as far as I could tell, for the entirety of my life, I've been alone. What you would describe as a loner. Truth and the more profound truth is that I'm never alone. That I've never been alone. I see that I got a poor status. I may be buffering. All right. And that's always been an illusion. It's an illusion that lots of times it's always been someone with me. And there's been times when I just couldn't see it. And that's unfortunate. And a lot of people might judge me off of that. I say I'm talking crazy, and maybe I am. Not that I know of. Not that I know of, y'all. Right now is the time to build up steam. Right now is a time to build up motion and momentum. I'm speaking towards that. I'm speaking towards people who know that, and I'm speaking towards people who will inevitably realize that. Now, I don't have much time tonight. I had to go ahead and go to work, like most people do. You can deny it if you want. His name is Jesus, and he's got many names. About is that we know who we're talking about. Is that we're not afraid to say his name. And that we personally do not have control over anything, nor is it our place. I want to go ahead and do as we do a lot, take a look at Google. Now, Google, who is that? Think you know who that is? Satan. All right. Come to love your enemy. It's a concept that most people are not ready to grasp. As they go through their journey, these people, it is our place to help them along. That's why we're here right now. I want to run through Google. We have no idea what we're doing right here. But I want to see, they're telling us this. The plot to steal $626 million from the city of San Antonio. That's a headline. It has something to do with San Antonio. Most people will never, ever hear about it. And there's no reason to hear about it. Except to know what it is. I'm sorry about that. But we're limited on time. What's more important is this man right here, Lil Wayne. On shoes. This is a man who's bold. This is a man who says the name Jesus and does not apologize. Work status is poor, and I may be buffering, and for that I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish they would stop telling me. Lil Wayne still doesn't listen to any other rappers except this one. Who are they talking about? I don't know. Since we got a straggler, we pulled in a straggler. Introduced to you right now, in case if you didn't know. He's a man who, I'm not afraid to admit, puts in more work than me. His level, General Shepherd. He's got a certain kind of tenacity that it's kind of hard to explain. I'm sure that there's a story behind it. The tenacity that he exhibits comes from Jesus. It comes from Jesus, through Jesus. Got something to contribute to this here, a broadcast all the way from Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. As unknown as this broadcast is and may remain, my efforts. General Shepherd says this. Alex Jones said, therefore, it is true. The Bin Laden killing was fake. I don't know that. And it was preposterous. That is true. I believe Alex Jones is correct, but he's not the only one who's correct about this. Obviously, it was. And it brings into. But like Alex Jones has alluded to, if it is fake, I don't believe that Donald Trump has any idea that it is fake. And if it is fake, and Donald Trump reason that al-Baghdadi is gone, it's a case that I know nothing about. He's the leader of ISIS, or he was, and beyond that, I have of what is being purported. Well, he deserves justice just like everybody else. A whole heap of justice upon his head. And it is what it is. We got another straggler. Another assembly puts in more work than me. Puts in more effort than me. He enlightens more than myself. He brings people to the truth more than myself. And I'm not envious of that. Jesus, that's our older brother. And he is a legend, and I will hear nothing else. Major Mark says, I see nothing. He says, hey, my friend, how are you going? I don't know how I'm. I couldn't tell you why I'm here to this day on Earth. Why? Couldn't tell you. Should I be? It seems so, but there's many. I have peace in my heart. And it may be the only thing that I have. But it's the only thing that I need anyways. It's the only thing that we need. Jesus is king. So I need to hear things, and we're in a quickening. It's not time to lose. It's not time to lose your patience. It's not time to become overwhelmed. Why? Because the time draws near. I saw Matrix Mark's video earlier, and I would definitely suggest that you subscribe to his channel because he's showing us something. He's showing in real time. Jesus showed us first. Matrix Mark showed us second or third, fourth, fifth, 12th. Not time to give up. In fact, there is never a time. That time doesn't exist. Time doesn't exist. How am I doing? There's a lot of problems. It's not worth thinking about. In fact, thinking is not worth it. Thinking is not worth it. To you. Jesus is the reason. It's my older brother. All right. I'm trying to situate my face. I have an aversion to it. I forget where I was going with that. But however, oh yeah, I remember. I want to see them talking to me as if they were here right in front of me. There are people, I could walk out my door right now and knock on some doors and talk to people's faces. Perhaps I will. But I'll glance at it and I want to see it. I have a little small screen. It's on the telephone right now. So I'm trying to situate a way that I could see comments and that American flag is in the screen and that independence is on the screen and that freedom of speech is on the screen. They can go ahead and try to end this. It can go ahead and try to take my rights away. All right, but we're just seeing if we can become more acquainted with the world around us. I appreciate everybody who's come in, and I appreciate Star Wars fans can't get enough of Bill Burr. Google has failed me. All right. I accidentally clicked on it, but let's go ahead and look at it. Star Wars, especially, as funny as nobody's business. How did he get into Star Wars? Couldn't tell you. All right. But I have a feeling it has something else. But I'm sure that it's epic. And my older brother, Bill, I'm sure he represented in that movie. And I love him. I never heard of. It's in West Texas. I spent a number of years in West Texas. It's a beautiful place. The sky. I don't know where you live out there on the other side of this. People talk in West Texas, and you'll hear it in their voice. There's gravel in their voice. It's something that they can't help because it's sand in the air. It's dirt in the air. It's a very it's almost apocalyptic. It's nuts. But the sky, the reason I brought it up is the sky. I've never seen the sky more beautiful. It's completely filled to the brim with homicide, with suicide. I mean, it's bursting at the seams with it, with death. And it's very interesting in that sense. It's a it's a wonderful place in that sense. Um, the geography of it is pretty beautiful, and yet it's still bursting at the seams with homicide, suicide. I mean, like every day. It doesn't hardly get more wild than that. They closed a horror house, which is something that I'm not a big proponent of because of burglary. Might I count them as blessed? And avoid inflammation. Now, Google's my enemy, but at the same time, they know me. I've let them know me. And what I got to say is, on a personal level, what it is that I might do about it. I do have vitamins and supplements. I do have economic restrictions and stuff like that, especially right now. All right, so I try to keep up with. We take drugs all day. All right, that's what we do. We're the capital of it. Gut inflammation is something that I wish to conquer. Google, who's my enemy, is trying to help me with that. And Audrey says lectins destroy your gut and cause inflammation. Want to avoid them? Don't eat these foods. Me personally, I'm very poor. I'm in poverty as far as economics speak. But I want to know. I see that our time draws near and that I had to get ready for work, to make money, to pay rent, to live in this apartment, to facilitate what it is I'm doing. No, it isn't. Well, you got a couple people watching you, but these couple of people who may or may not be watching me, may or may not be the most important people in the world today. There is an end game to it. And so we must continue. Move that jail to the Everglades and other suggestions for what to do with Broward's main jail. Family that I don't talk to and don't ever really have a reason to talk to them over there. But I do have my blood over there in South Florida. It's a very wild place. It's extremely wild. It's a very interesting concept. I don't even believe in jails. All right. I mean, except for like on a temporary basis, you got to hold somebody for a little while, then go for it. You need a jail. All right. But the whole, but however, that's what we do. To the point is that there ain't no more room. We need to create more jails. It's overflow. CNN's latest New Hampshire poll on 2020 Democrats live. They don't stand a chance against Donald Trump. He's my older brother. And I don't feel nothing but sorry for them for what they're doing. And as far as every Democratic politician who's running, take their legacy and throw it in the garbage and light it on fire, right? This is their denial of their older brother, whose name is Jesus. They can't help but deny it. I wish to never go back. Acting ICE director, Chicago politicians must wake up. So Chicago politicians must quit their job and their life and move somewhere else. What they good have become bad and bad have become good in the eyes of the majority of this world. A sanctuary city is a term that you can become familiar with. It's the exact opposite of what it sounds like. Line. The reason is because the powers to be, they want it desperately to be a sanctuary city. The people who live in the city do not want that. All right, whether they, we will burn to cinders, and it's only a matter of time. Chicago is well ahead of what it is what we're doing in San Antonio. All right, and speaking of that, Google didn't bring it up right now. To include and especially that whole Juicy Smollett situation, and the fact is that he just went ahead and laid down like the coward that he was. Him and the chief of police, I gotta let y'all know. I don't know if Google's gonna bring it up, but he was caught slipping the other day. He was actually found asleep at an intersection in a car, dead asleep intersection, and being found out. He's more than embarrassing. Michelle Obama had on white flight. Y'all were running from us. You know, it's so interesting, and we're gonna like white folks tend to want to get away from darker folks, black folks, or whatever you might call them in America. That's actually not the case. They want to get away from poverty. They want to get away from crime. Ghetto into a place that's more safer, that's more American, that's more free, that more has liberty, that more has success, that more has life to it. And I don't know if you would call that white flight as well. They have dark skin, they have black brothers and black sisters. They're demonized for wanting to get away from the ghetto. And when white folks do it, that's called white flight. They can't help what skin color they are. They want to get out of poverty. They want to get away from criminality. They want to before that. Hey, it is what it is. America's middle class is addicted to a new kind of credit. It's the kind of credit that does not exist. It's an economic bubble that is in realizes it. I'm already living in it. It's not as bad as it first seems. But however, see, that's the thing. No, we gotta spit the truth about Donald Trump. We gotta spit the truth about Jesus. We gotta be open about it. All right, because people have chosen sides. Right? Some people chose the side to show them a better way. Why Melania Trump is poised to have a great legacy as a first lady? Probably every reason. All right, I can't think of one reason that she wouldn't be. Nobody should know her name. I don't know why you would know her name, except the fact is that you should love everybody, and maybe you heard her name and you should love her. However, she's insignificant, and Google wants to tell us about her. Sold left and right. All right, Dave Chappelle's upon a beacon. He's my Muslim brother, and they choose to attack him. He said the First Amendment is first for a reason. I heard tell my brother over there, and he'll continue to get attacked by the so-called left. And it's unfortunate. We got Chance the Rapper. He's doing some stuff. It's called Hot Shower. I love him. All right. This whole entire broadcast really did. I don't know what's the significance of it, and maybe it's not for me to know. Maybe it's not for me. And I'm personally not very entertained by it. I want to say thank you and God bless you. And the reason I did this is for you. And the reason that I'll continue doing this is for you. Who knows that they'll never be surrounded by people who just all of us who are alone around the world, we are together in this moment. And this moment, we can utilize it on the horizon, and that it will never end. There's people out there who are so lost that they'll try their very best. It's not meant to work. There's no success in it. It's only pure, unadulterated failure that they seek. And I don't hate them. And will always be a failure. And they can't even help it. They know not what they do. Anyways, all right. We will live forever. We don't